David, good afternoon. I wanted to start by asking you about Sunday's magical moment with Andrei Yarmolenko. How did you find that moment at the time? Because everyone watching it just thought it was incredibly special.
It was special, but at the moment I just felt it was us getting one goal in front at the time, and it was special for that reason alone, because the game was tight. Aston Villa are a good team. We've not scored as many open goals in open play, I should say, as we'd have liked. So to get one and get in front was really important for us. But the special part of it was obviously Yarmolenko scoring. It was the first time he's been back after the war's been on, and he came on and made a difference and scored a goal, which obviously drew a lot of attention for that reason. But also hopefully it's drawn a lot of attention in different parts of the world as well.
On that game, obviously, you had to deal with a bit of adversity. I guess the question is, how is Mikel Antonio, how is Aaron Cresswell? Are they fit for tomorrow night? What's the latest on the injuries?
Well, I couldn't tell you exactly if they're fit. They've done a little bit of light training. We're trying to find out if they are fit. That's really what it is we're trying to give them every opportunity to be fit. But they didn't train with the team today, but they did a little bit with the fitness coaches. So we'll wait and assess them tomorrow to see how they are.
How late will you leave it to make a decision?
Well, I've not named the team, and I'll probably not do that till late tomorrow to see how they are.
And Jared Bowen, is he in a similar boat?
No, Jared Bowen's not available. Jared Bowen probably won't be available till at the earliest after international break.
On to the challenge ahead. Are you excited as a manager taking West Ham into this game against Sevilla, European competition? Does it excite you, these big moments?
Certainly does. I've had one or two. Fortunate enough in my career, I want to go further with it, and I hope we can. But I've been excited throughout the tournament for West Ham because it's been not completely new, but it's probably new in recent history, that's for sure. Winning the group was really good for us, and getting in this position now to give ourselves a chance against, look, there'll be one or two teams who'd be classed as favourites for this tournament. Sevilla would certainly be that. I don't think we've done too bad against them, but we're going to have to do much better if we're going to get through. So we'll have a big game, but we're certainly all looking forward to it.
The first leg in Sevilla, against Sevilla, I should say. What did you learn from that team and that experience that will help you in tomorrow's game?
I think we watch more our game than their game. I think we played well. We were unlucky to not score, but I mean, I think we have to keep going, keep pushing as we've done, and hopefully we score tomorrow.
Final one for me. Does this feel like probably the biggest game that West Ham have had for certainly since you arrived at the club, and does it feel like that within the squad?
I mean, every weekend we are playing big games, especially here in Premier League. We have big opponents. I think it's a different maybe atmosphere, European atmosphere. We know that the fans will be really important for us as well, because we felt the last time we played in Europe that they were pushing, and I think they're going to be important for us and going to do everything possible to win that game.
And finally for me, what are you expecting at the London Stadium? What sort of atmosphere are you expecting from the fans?
Well, I think the London Stadium on really special games. We played Liverpool at home, Chelsea at home. We've had some fabulous atmospheres in the stadium. I probably expect this one to be up there with them. But how do you get a good atmosphere is obviously by your team performance and how the team go about their job. We need to make sure that we don't allow Seville to kill that atmosphere or the thought of that. So we have to do a really good job on the pitch. But I've got no doubt the West Ham supporters will be there in numbers and also there in voice.
Last week the crowd were amazing in Seville, both West Ham fans, but especially the home fans. I mean, they're bouncing up and down, and the manager even made reference to that afterwards. How much do the West Ham fans tomorrow have to replicate that and be your 12th man?
They just have to be themselves. Away at home, we can hear them, and as I told you that will be important as well to give us that second brief and to push us to just commit and do our job and put pressure on Sevilla as well.
As it comes to this game now against Seville, which is the knockout stages, the FA Cup's gone, top four's going to be a real scrap now for the end of the season. Does that add an extra level of pressure on this game? Do you have to separate the players from the bigger pictures of this game itself?
I see this as an incredible achievement for West Ham to be in this position. For us to have European football in mid-March from where we've been in the past, I think our league position is incredibly positive. I think our runs in the Cup have been incredibly good. We're disappointed we get out of the FA Cup, but I have to say that for the Cup competitions and the league positions, I think we're in a great position, and I think all season we've attempted to go and challenge and win, while we're a team who's still growing to try and improve and get a better side. But I think the players are showing great resilience. Their character's been unquestionable in the games, and I hope they remain that way between now and the end of the season.
Going into the game, the psychology bits, you have to separate them a little bit from the occasions, the actual game itself, the tactics, the team you play against. Because obviously when you get into that stadium tomorrow night, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere.
Yeah, we're here to win. We want to win. That's the first thing. It can be a great experience. We can enjoy it. We'll always remember it. But I know what will make us remember it even more, and that comes from winning. So yes, we have to detach ourselves exactly from that and play with that level of experience, which I hope we can do. We've had some really big games, as I mentioned. We've beaten Liverpool at home, we've beaten Chelsea at home, we've beaten Tottenham at home. So from that point of view, I think we can go into it in confidence to say that if we can beat those teams, we can give most teams a game. So we'll enter it that way, and hopefully we can come out winners at the end.
And just lastly, last night, Atletico Madrid did the job of Manchester United, didn't they? Seville, with all their experience, that's what they'll be coming to do as well.
Oh, of course. I mean, if you're second in La Liga, you have to be some side. No matter what way you win. We talk an awful lot about our Premier League and how good we are, etc. Don't be kidded. The La Liga has great sides in it and top players. And Seville are also a side which are experienced in winning this trophy. So tough draw for us, but it's the way we wanted it. We wanted to challenge the best. I think Seville are up there with the best at the moment.
This is one of the biggest games that the club's had since moving from Upton Park, a real chance to start making some proper history at the stadium.
I think we're preparing that game normally. Obviously it's a different game, European game, but we know what to do, we know what we have to do. So we're going to prepare that game and be ready before the game and during the game.
You mentioned about how the atmosphere is going to be incredible, and I doubt you'll be able to be heard on the sidelines. How do you as a manager cope with that when you can't always get the message across? Is it just about trust, or do you have to just scream a bit louder?
Well, it's always about preparation. So really, I used to always, when I was a younger manager, I used to sit back and look at Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger, who would sit back in their dugout and trust their players totally, stand back, and very little was getting said. Instructions now and again, but generally very good. And there was me as a young manager, always jumping up and down the touchline, and then trying to get messages on and trying to have an impact in the game. And then there's been a new breed of manager, like Jurgen Klopp and Antonio Conte, who actually the media enjoy because they're actually out there, jumping up and down. People want that. So it's a very difficult thing as a manager. You can try and stand back and let the players get on with it, or you can be somebody who tries to help the best you can with your voice or your signals or your communication. So you can manage in different ways, but I understand that it'll be very difficult for the players to hear me. They probably blank me anyway, so that's probably the key to it. They say, "I can't hear you, boss." So that's really part of it. But look, I'm a manager who always tries to help the players. My reason for probably being on the touchline is because I feel as if I could do one little bit which helps them, then I think it's better than nothing. But I've got to say, when I look back, my admiration was always for Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger, who seemed to be able to sit back and not get involved. But the trend for the modern manager, partly made by the media, I think, is that they really want to see somebody jumping up and down along the touchlines.
And just finally, this Sevilla squad will probably be a bit stronger than the one you faced in the first leg. Rakitic
will be.
probably playing Delaney back from suspension.
Mhm.
Is that in your mind, or is it exactly the same as how you're going to prepare for it?
Probably exactly the same take, really. I think that it does make them, it makes them stronger, I believe. I mean, you've got to remember, it looks like, I think Ocampos is suspended. So, you know, like we've got injuries, they've got injuries. And, you know, I heard it before the games, does it make them stronger, does it make us weaker or whatever? It's a bit like that as well. We've got injuries and they've got a couple back from suspension and injury. But I think that Rakitic is a really good player, incredibly experienced player, and has been through his career. And Delaney's an excellent player as well. They've been around international football, European football, whether it been with Barcelona or Dortmund. So I have to say that those two players are extremely experienced in a game which will probably need, you know, a lot of experience and a lot of nous to go over the line.